You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Defiance After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Defiance After Show.
Hey there, Defiance fans! Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Defiance After Show. So excited to have you here, talking about Season 2, Episode 3, The Axe and the Cord. My name's Matt Lieberman. Joining me is the fantastic Mr. Jessie Klein.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast, dude.
Thank you, man. I'm glad to be here.
I'm excited. For those of you who don't know Jessie, he's on the Halt and Catch Fire show with me. He's on the Marin show with me. He's going to be joining us all season long. Unfortunately, Nando Velasquez and Scott Moore were not able to be here today. First of all, I want to thank Scott for holding it down last week.
Yeah.
We all really appreciate that. Just sometimes things happen. I know I was out of town for VidCon for work. Nando had a work function. Jessie was sick. So sometimes, it comes down to it. Do we want to put out content and make sure that people have a Defiance podcast in their inbox the following morning? Or do we skip it or try to move it around? And unfortunately, we couldn't move it. We didn't want to skip it. We want to make sure that you had your content. So I want to thank Scott for holding it down last week. That was really awesome of him.
Yeah, good work.
Yeah. So this episode is interesting. I think it introduced, first of all, it undid a lot of the damage from the end of season 1.
Yeah,
that we were kind of like all this new status quo with Doc Yewll and Datak in Camp Reverie, with Irisa thinking that she's killing people, and now it appears that there's something either better or far more sinister, I think.
Yeah.
At play. How do you feel about it, Jessie?
Man, after watching this episode, I was going, what? Quite a bit,
right? There weren't any easy answers.
Yeah, I was like, wait, how are people alive now? Like, there were 2 people that were alive that were surprising for me,
right?
And there was just a lot of I don't know what is real now. It's left a lot of reality unchecked.
Well, I mean, I think real in this case is going to be a little bit relative.
Yeah.
And we also got some answers vis-a-vis the Kaziri, which I'm very excited about. We're going to get into all that. I want to jump in, starting by talking with the Tarr Macaulay family.
Sure.
Their union.
Strong union.
Strong. The union is strong.
They're very strong.
Yeah. And Christy she's in the communal family bath. She's doing her best as a casty wife, but it's obvious how uncomfortable this scene is.
Yeah.
And Stama either, I think honestly she knows, but she doesn't care because she likes being in power. She likes the role that she has claimed for herself in this family.
Yeah. It's interesting how their relationship kind of progresses through the episode, and how like a lot of tension gets brought because of the big announcement that gets ruined.
Yes. Christy is pregnant and Stama smells it on her.
Yes.
Which is like, that's the creepiest thing that can happen from your mother-in-law.
It was very creepy.
Yeah. Oh, honey, I'm so excited for you. God damn it. God.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congratulations, you've newly flowered, haven't you?
Baby by Stama.
Gross. So yeah, and Alak tries to kind of interject in this family bath. He's like, "Ma, can you not put your breasts so close to her face? We've talked about the personal," and she's like, "You young generation needing personal space.
Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna go push drugs and murder people."
And no, she's a businesswoman in the community. She's very nice. She's
no. Spin this.
She's not murdering people or pushing drugs. She's just trying to look out for her family. Right. A strong woman who's never poisoned anyone.
Never ever poisoned anyone with poison on the outside of a flask.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what they're doing with Alak this season so far.
Yeah.
Having him murder Skeever, basically, paying off what I think the setup of this character was, which is he's a guy who never should have been a gangster, has a heart that's not in it, but ultimately family loyalties have forced him into it, and now he's done some things that are really haunting him.
Yeah, it's a very much it's reminiscent of a lot of like gangster stories that you see in other fiction, where it's like he has a family now, like he's got a baby that he's got to look out for, but his dad, well, he thought he was going to be free of his dad and like all of those pressures, and I think he was pretty happy of just letting his mom run the business, and then he would be able to take care of his baby and like, you know, maybe make his father-in-law happy and that kind of stuff.
Tarr tracks. Yeah. Tarr tracks. Come on, man. It's got 2 X's in it. How can that not be a great business?
It sounds like a great business.
It's doing really well. Yeah. Although, honestly, I'm like, where's the money coming from?
I don't know.
Because, like, if the business itself is doing really well, like, is he shipping these records out to the other territories?
I guess. They're playing music that apparently is real sexy.
Yeah, real sexy.
Real sexy music.
Yeah, he's hired a new DJ for the Top of the Arch for Raider Radio.
Yeah.
Do we have her name?
Oh, I think
something
I wrote it. Treasure Doll.
Treasure Doll.
Yeah.
Me wow.
I wonder, was she prostitute? With a name like Treasure Doll?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But she was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, she was.
She wasn't a treasurer for a doll company?
No, she freely admits to turning tricks at the need want, and seemingly everything turns her on.
Yes.
She is very turned on by the fact that Alak is a murderer, and she would like him to murder her arousal. If you will.
Yeah, I will.
And he's trying to resist, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to be a good husband.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
she pisses him off,
Yeah.
which is exactly what she wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She got to him.
Yeah.
And she's just like, you know, yeah, put the fear of God in me, and everything else.
Everything else, sure.
And everything else. Yeah. And Alak is definitely, he's conflicted. He's so screwed up over this. At the end of the last episode, he was vomiting.
Yeah.
And this guilt is going to eat away at him.
Yeah.
He doesn't like people thinking that he's a killer. He doesn't like being a killer.
No.
And he wants to leave the business. Like Rafe, so like when they're having this dinner, you know, Rafe pulls out the stogies and he takes Alak aside and he's like, you remember when I had my friends beat the tar out of you?
I'm sure he does.
After you got married? Well, that still stands. I will kill you if you do not shape up for my baby girl and your baby.
Yeah, well, he even mentioned Skeever.
Yeah,
like he says, like there are a lot of rumors going on around Skeever, which it's like, so yeah, Alec, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, little baby Alec. He took the purple out of his hair, and now all of a sudden he's got real grown-up problems.
He's got grown-up problems. Once you take the purple out of your hair, you're admitting that you're a grown-up. Now you have grown-up problems.
Yeah, I love this scene between him and Rafe, and I love their relationship.
It was good, yeah.
Especially, you know, because before the wedding last season, when they finally kind of started to bond, he realized how much Alak loved Christy.
Yeah.
He does kind of want to be a better father figure to this kid. He knows there's good in him, but that ultimately, more often than not, he follows in his father's footsteps of being a criminal and kind of a coward.
Yeah. But I think he wants to be the man that
Rafe sees in him.
Like, I think he really wants that. It's just he can't get to it. He keeps getting stuck in the mud.
It's kind of an impossible situation. Like, caste tradition places family and your Lero above everything.
That's true.
So it's very, very difficult to break free of it. And to Alec's credit, he goes to Camp Reverie in an attempt to do just that.
Yeah.
But also to do right by his father.
Yeah, he had to talk to his dad through that aluminum siding.
Thankfully, though, no hand jobs. No. In the first episode of the season, Stama was very aggressive with giving a hand job through the aluminum siding. Very happy that is not a father-son activity as well.
Yeah, we don't know their culture.
Well, we only see bits and pieces.
Yeah.
We don't know how far hand jobs extend through caste tradition.
Yeah, that could be like the equivalent of like a business handshake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with this, we are agreed. Are we agreed?
I'll sign the papers. I'll sign those papers.
I'll sign those papers.
Yeah.
And I won't finish that joke. I had a thought of what he would sign in, but there's no reason to include it.
No.
There's no reason.
No. With a pen.
Yeah. What?
With a pen.
Yeah, with a pen.
Yeah.
With a pen 15. And so Alec basically is like, look, the business is doing really well. I would like to step down. And Datak, who has been, he's been in camp forever, and he's realizing what's really going on.
Yeah.
He knows that something's up, that Pottinger was basically laughing at him through his eyes. And that Stama's been dragging her heels. He suspects that Stama's taken over his business.
Although earlier he was saying that he didn't think she was. Like they were after the doctor got her finger cut off.
Yeah.
He was trying to figure out who was keeping him in there, because he was like, he didn't think that she was the one who was responsible for him.
She was capable.
Yeah. But
he underestimated her, but she very much is.
Yeah.
And I find it hilarious, and it's so very in Datak's character to doubt his wife, even though it's obvious that she's been propping him up this whole time.
Yeah.
She's the whole reason that he's as successful as he is.
Yeah. I thought that was really interesting, where immediately he just realized it when his son was talking to him. It was like,
oh, right.
Yeah.
That does make a lot of sense. And now I am incensed, and when I get out, I will murder your mother, and I'll kill you too, if I have to.
I'll start a new family.
I'll start a new family.
A better family.
With Treasure Doll, because I'm her favorite, because I rough her up.
I beat her up.
I beat her up.
Play that punk music.
White girl.
Yeah, it works.
All right,
works.
Good.
It works.
So yeah, Alec asks,
folks. It was a real good episode.
Alec asks to lead the family.
Yeah.
Datak says absolutely not. These guys, there's no way that they have the smarts to get this done.
Yeah.
If it's not you, who is it? Oh, it's Stama.
Yeah.
I will ruin her. I will do this. And then Alec stands up to him, and he's like, Dad, you're gonna rot in there forever. I don't care. I'm out of here.
No way there will be a plot twist where you get out of prison
immediately. And I thought, to their credit, I'm pleased that they got him out in this episode. I thought they'd wait a few more.
Yeah. I thought we were going to see a lot of him like stewing in prison, but he immediately got out, so he was just super angry as soon as he left.
Oh yeah. And I'm just happy having Datak back, causing trouble.
Yep.
He returns to the Tarr home to that Portishead song, and he's just stripping off his clothes, and all this dirt's flying off in this immaculate White House.
Bad episode for people with OCD.
Terrible episode for people with OCD. And then they sense him coming, they see him coming, and he's got this kind of like weird smile on his face.
Yeah.
And he's like, the master returns. He gets into the tub, and it's like a wonderful bit of visual symbolism.
Yeah.
All this dirt kind of like spreads across the tub towards his family.
Yeah.
And how he's kind of reinfecting this family unit.
Yeah, it gets on them. Like, as much as Alec wants to get out, he
stays in the tub.
And he's got dirt on him now.
Yeah. And when he could have stayed there, but he wanted to be there to protect his mother.
Yeah.
And thank goodness he was there, because he just immediately starts trying to drown Stama. It's very shocking.
Yeah.
And then he and Alec are fighting. They're choking each other. It's very, very tense.
Yeah.
Yeah, to say the least.
It was a very tense way to end the episode.
Yeah, but just so that we don't miss it, I also want to bring up the scene where after he returns from the jail, presumably to tell Stama that he's leaving the family as well, she presents him with a gift.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so everyone, when they left Casti, they were permitted to bring 3 items with them, and Datak only brought one, his treasured blue electro blade, vibro blade, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the only thing that he knew he had to do was protect what was his.
Yeah.
And it's at least good to know he sticks by his principles, because that's exactly what he did when he started drowning her.
That's true.
At least in his mind.
Yeah.
But Alec, I think that kind of silenced him back into into obsolescence of just like, well, I can't. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do.
Well, she gave it to him because she was like, now you have a child. You have treasure to protect of your own.
And also, I think, as a thank you for killing Skeever and defending her life and her honor.
Yeah. I think he probably should have brought 3 knives back.
That would have been smart, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I get 3 things? I get 3 things? Okay.
3 knives.
All right, yeah, I'll have a knife, and I guess I'll have 2 more knives just in case I lose that first knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it still has the symbolism. Like, it's still like, oh, this is what I use to protect what I treasure.
Right.
Times 3.
Right. I have a medium one, a big one, and a small one.
Oh, a steak knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, medium one, a big one, and a steak knife.
Steak knife. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, or just, you know, a chef's knife.
Space steak.
Space steak.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we move on, I just want to talk really quickly about iTunes. People, I say it every week, don't fast forward. We here at AfterBuzz TV, we thank you for your support. We love you. We are so happy that you're downloading our podcasts on iTunes, watching them on YouTube, listening to them on Stitcher. You're all the best. And, you know, you may be saying to yourself, how can I help AfterBuzz TV?
How can you?
They provide me with so many hours of quality entertainment every week. How many hours? Between 60 and 70 a week, depending on how much, you know, is on TV at the moment, what our schedule permits. And it doesn't cost you a dime. Only takes a second. Go to iTunes, rate and review the shows you listen to or that you watch on YouTube. It's that easy, it's that simple, and it means the world. Not only does it help us know that we're doing a good job and we're giving you the podcast that you absolutely want and deserve, but it's how we're able to attract sponsorships to our network, and that's what keeps the doors open, lights on. I say it all the time, so the words get mixed up.
Doors on, lights open.
Doors on and the lights open. Well, I mean, no, there's no barn doors on these lights, so there's no reason to say that. But in any case, it's really, really simple. They can even be gibberish. But if you do it, you get a shout out here on the show, and we deeply, deeply appreciate all of your support. So please go to iTunes, rate and review those shows. And, you know, if you can't get to iTunes and you still want to throw some support behind the network or just let us know how we're doing, you can email our network at info@afterbuzztv.com, and those messages will come back to us. So, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah. So, we mentioned briefly Doc Yewll, who is getting out of prison. Why is she getting out of prison? I'll tell you. Ooh. Pottinger, who's just a world-class toady and an adreno freak, and is obsessed with Amanda, and it's super creepy.
Yeah.
He cut off her finger last week, and now we finally understand why. He used it to open up Doc Yewll's secret safe.
Yeah.
Which, inside of which, there was a book that we didn't really see last year. You know, just one of the keys to the Kaziri she kept in it, but we didn't know that she also kept a book. Now, we know that Yewll has a past. In the Pale Wars, she helped design weapons.
Yeah.
She experimented on humans. She, I think, helped with the changing indigenes to have human skin project, but I can't recall necessarily at the moment. But in any case, she's a brilliant scientist who has a lot of negative abilities.
Yeah, also a war criminal.
A war criminal.
Yeah. Yeah, and Pottinger gets real excited about whatever she has in those journals and wants them now.
He gets a downright E-rep stiffy over it.
Yeah, he whatever that weapon is, he wants it so bad.
He wants it so bad.
Yeah.
There's so many hexagons in it.
Timetable. Accelerated.
Whoa. Yeah. Limitless resources, accelerated timetable. Are you as excited as I am?
Yeah.
Clears off the table.
I need an assistant.
Yeah. Oh, fine. Whoever you want. What? Oh, another criminal? That's fine.
Yeah, put him out.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need Stomatar.
I don't think... It doesn't look like he's doing a lot of bodyguard work. Like, as soon as he leaves prison, he leaves the person whose body he is supposed to be guarding and goes to go choke his family out.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's not being the greatest bodyguard. Hopefully he gets taken to task for that.
That'd be interesting to see.
Because I like them together. They're two characters that don't necessarily make sense together, but they're both prickly, and they both have secret agendas. So I always enjoy seeing those two together. Hopefully we get a lot more.
She's good at calling him out on his stuff.
Yeah.
Like, she can read him pretty well.
What do we think that these plans are for? What is this weapon?
I mean, Pottinger is so power hungry. Like, I feel like it's got to be like some sort of bio weapon or like, I don't know. Like, it's got to be something big. Like
Yeah.
he's unlimited resources, accelerated timetable.
Well, I mean, as we saw in the first episode of the season, he's clashing with some of the higher ups at EREP. He's trying to make a name for himself. So I imagine bringing a powerful weapon to the table would definitely help get him a better position than Mayor of Defiance.
Yeah, or like hold something, like hold a territory hostage or something like that.
That'd be dope.
Yeah,
I'd be into it.
It seems like EREP, they're like pretty much anything's on a game as far as like what you want to do there. So
yeah, I mean, I'm very, very curious to see how this moves forward. Meanwhile, Pottinger, what else is he up to? He's doing drugs.
Doing tons of drugs.
He's creeping on Amanda. And he has this very, like, just awkward conversation with Nolan where he's basically like, look, I know you and Amanda, you spend time together, and I fancy Amanda, so I just want to know that you're okay that I like her.
He's like, I didn't go to high school, but this must be what it was like. And it was.
Whoa, you got the best of me and you're on a basketball team, Nolan.
Hey, buddy, you got plenty of skills.
I don't know.
No, I'm sure there's a girl out there that will like you, though.
I became school president to impress her, and she still doesn't care.
Okay, Pottinger.
Yeah.
You're talking about things that are out of my hands, okay? Like, look, you're a cool guy, I'm sure. Like, I bet there's a girl out there that likes you, just not Amanda.
Sometimes I go into the want for a nip.
Okay, well, that's weird. That's an interesting choice of words.
That is what he said, though.
I know it is what he said.
He pops in. He meant for a drink. But
I think he meant for a drink, but that is an interesting choice of words.
It really is.
Yeah. Finish your word.
Yeah.
Finish your word, Pottinger.
Nip with 2 P's.
You over-finished that word. Got the word down.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The character, I see his plot function. I see his value in terms of moving the plot forward, but I wanna see him either be crazier or, you know, I want to know what he's up to in a way that makes me excited to see him on screen.
Yeah, right now he's a kind of like cool, not as in like a cool guy, but like cool as in like not very hot protagonist,
right?
Like, or antagonist. Sorry, yeah, like he's making things difficult, but it's not like active or aggressive. He's just kind of there, and you're waiting for something to happen where, like, someone gets arrested, or he
I'm sure we'll get some kind of twist in a few episodes.
Yeah.
What is interesting in this episode is he becomes Amanda's Adreno pipeline.
Yeah.
Adreno sales have effectively been shut down. You know, he says to Stama, I can't have my people getting hooked on it, so it's all over. She runs out of Adreno, and now he's supplying it to her, which means she's going to become more and more hooked on the drug and more tied to him. And I really don't like seeing Amanda like this.
Yeah.
She's really out of sorts. She is kind of in denial about what happened to Kenya.
Yeah.
And she said to Nolan last week, you know, that she likes her new gig. She's gotten used to it. But it's really not the case.
Yeah, and for such a strong character, like, it's weird seeing her like this. Like, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I want her to be sassy.
Yeah, I mean, she's deeply depressed. Yeah, we saw her kick this dude's ass this week.
She did kick that dude's ass.
His ass, broke a chair over him, but it's in, like, a drug fit.
Yeah.
And she's wildly out of control. It wasn't, you know, a moment of strength for her, which I wish that it had been, or like it would have been from Kenya, which just makes me more and more concerned for her.
Yeah.
You know, she and Nolan are now sleeping together, but it's not in the way that any of us would have wanted them to be together. Instead, they're both just kind of not talking about the fact that this is unhealthy.
Yeah.
They both definitely had feelings for each other for a long time, and they just kind of hopped into bed together because she's now a madam of a brothel.
And, like, I think she's just desperate to feel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, like, screwed up.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable. And, like, if Pottinger becomes, like, the pipeline for her drug habit, like, she's gonna hook up with him. She's gotta.
No.
Eventually, he's gotta be like, look, I could get you more, but You need to do something for me as well.
Yeah. I've heard that at Camp Reverie, when people come to visit, they provide certain hand pleasurings.
Oh, a business deal?
Yes, a business deal.
Let's sign those papers.
Let's sign those papers.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you. Good. Good.
Well done.
Good business.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you.
Would have been nice to get some mouth business, but this business is fine.
Sure.
Yes.
No.
So, yeah.
We're not talking land ownership. This
No.
is just a business deal.
Right.
Yeah.
There's also a scene between Amanda and Stama.
Yeah.
Where they talk about Kenya being missing.
Which was real awkward.
Really awkward.
Yeah.
Because, you know, as we all know, Stama killed Kenya. And I think she does regret it. She did. I think she... Rewatching the first season before season 2 came out, made me kind of rethink their relationship, because at the end of season 1, I was like, well, obviously she never cared about her at all.
Yeah.
She never cared about her at all. She was always trying to get another pawn to use in her attempts to make Datak powerful.
Yeah.
But now that I think back, I think that there genuinely was some excitement in her life that Kenya provided that she hadn't had in a long time. Someone who respected her and saw her as a not just a woman, but as a powerful woman, and as a strong person. And that ultimately she had to sacrifice that connection for what she thought was right, and it backfired. So now she's really... now I think she wishes that she was still alive, that it hadn't been necessary to kill her.
Yeah, I think also, like, she had to sacrifice that part of her life as well. And, like, I think what Kenya represents is kind of missing from her life now, and now she's regretting that. She's also, like, the hardest character to read.
Yeah.
I think
Jamie Alexander does an amazing job.
She does a really good job, and I think it's just... like, because of the culture, like, it's hard to tell what her motivations are every time. But yeah, I think she does feel bad about Kenya, but that conversation was really awkward.
Well, there's still, like, she doesn't even know that she was sleeping with Kenya.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just got to be strange.
I mean, that's...
as strange as poison on the outside of a flask.
Yeah.
That was the weirdest death, and I still have problems with it.
You don't like that it was on the outside of the flask?
No, I thought it was, I was like, it didn't hit me like a aha, like, oh my god, that's a shocker. It was just kind of like, what?
Why didn't you put it inside?
Well, because she wasn't going to drink from it.
Yeah.
You know, but like, what kind of poison is that? I don't understand. I get it. You're aliens. You can do weird outside of the flask poisons that just are absorbed through the skin, but it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah. And osmosis is a dangerous thing.
And Osmosis Jones is a dangerous man.
Movie.
A dangerous movie.
And TV series, subsequently.
And subsequent TV series.
Yeah.
All right, so the big story that we have to talk about is Irisa's story, and Nolan's story is part of it. You know, she has been killing people because she's got a little Urzu in her head.
Gotta get that Urzu out.
Telling her to kill people.
Yeah.
And it's driving her crazy. She hates it.
Yeah.
She hates it. And, you know, when Birdie's in the market and she hears the good news, you know, from Rafe that he's going to be a grandfather, she's like, I'm going to be the best Nana ever, the best auntie ever, whatever. And she runs off, presumably to go home, and Irisa is stalking her. Urzu's telling her, you have to kill, you have to take her, you have to take her. And Irisa's like, no, I'm not going to do that anymore, child me. That was a handcuff sound effect, courtesy of Jessie Klein.
You're welcome.
And
available for Foley work?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
At any time.
Anytime.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm not going to do it. I will trap myself, and I'm not going to kill anyone. And Urzu's like, oh, yeah. And then we get a kind of like brief flashes of imagery. We see inside of the Kaziri 3,000 years ago. And as we see later on, someone who looks a hell of a lot like Irisa on board. She and her casty partner basically mutiny and take over the ship because Earth's an inhabited planet, and she doesn't want to kill everybody by terraforming it.
Well, yeah, she said something like Urzu protects all life.
Yeah, Urzu values all life. Is what she said, which is we're at a conundrum here because Irissa's been going around killing people. So how can she value all life? That's obviously not the case. So, as we move further through the episode, obviously, Irisa, when she wakes up, she's standing over Birdie's body. She's freaked out, to say the least. And she spends all night dragging Birdie's body into the woods and digging a hole, doing a little night digging.
Some night digging.
Yep. Yeah. And it's funny. For a second, I assumed as she started digging, she was going to find Kenya's body.
Ooh.
But, I mean, it would be vastly decomposed after 9 months. But still. I just thought that was going to happen because it's the same woods. Didn't happen. But it's putting her at odds with Nolan. She's missing shifts. She's being secretive. She's not telling him anything. And he's getting paranoid.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's in such a pickle.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I call it when you're killing people, when an ancient god is telling you to kill people, and now apparently not only telling you, but taking over your body and killing people for you. Yeah, and like you can tell that she doesn't like lying, and you can tell that like this is not a thing that she's happy about, but at the same time, for some reason, she isn't saying anything.
Yeah.
Which
well, I think Urzu's telling her that she can't.
Yeah,
I assume we haven't really we had that moment where Urzu was like, shh, like with her finger.
Sure.
A few episodes back, so I assume that she's just not allowed to talk about it. But it's definitely a big problem. And Nolan, as we know, when he's on the outside of something involving Irisa, he panics and he gets judgy and searchy, and he goes through her stuff. He can't read her diary.
Finds the cuffs, though.
Finds her cuffs with Liberata blood on them, and he jumps to this conclusion, a correct conclusion, that is bafflingly overturned later in the episode. So here, let's talk about what's going on with these bodies, right?
Yeah.
So she goes to see Sukar, who
alive,
again.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, can anything kill Sukar? Because he's supposed to be dead again.
Think so. Yeah.
So he talks about he's got missing gaps, kind of like her. Yeah. And I guess when she saw his ghost in front of the cave, when she went to go to the Kaziri in the finale, maybe that was Urzu reviving him as well. It definitely freaks out all of his fellow spirit riders. They abandoned him. They called him the Devil Woken or the Devil Arisen. I don't remember exactly what it said.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's unnatural for him to be alive again, and he's trying to puzzle through it. And then Urzu forces Irisa to kill Sukar, but it's not killing him. We see the combined Kolovan, the combined keys, snake out of Irisa's mouth and jump inside Sukar, and then his body's just lifeless, and then she runs away thinking that she killed him. But that's not what happened.
Because then he wakes up again.
Yeah. So
does he have the keys?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Let me get to that point.
Yeah.
So later in the woods, Irisa is at the end of her rope. She takes his gun and she goes to kill herself. Yeah. And Urzu's telling her, "You can't do it. You can't do it." And she's like, "Ha ha ha! I'm gonna do it anyway." Yeah. And then she shoots herself in the face. Yeah. And we see that full effectively. Yeah. We see that full flashback to the Kaziri. Mm-hmm. And then when we come back, she's still alive, and the Kolovan are repairing her body. Yeah. They're repairing her body. Part of me thinks, and I know this is a big jump. Yeah. Part of me thinks that when Irisa fell into the Kaziri, she did die. That her body is gone. Yeah. What we're seeing now is whatever kind of new life form or artificial life form the Kaziri has created to do its will. I don't think that it's Urzu at all. I think that it's the onboard computer potentially of the Kaziri. And it's like a cancer. Like, because it won't let things die, it just keeps on reproducing. Because then you see, at the very end, you see someone that has been dead that Irisa killed, like, get that kid and then spit the stuff. And so it's building an army. So so that means what's her name? Birdie
is also one of these things. Yeah.
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 Yeah. What I'm thinking, because the Kaziri it was a terraforming ship.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
It was meant to terraform the Earth so that when the fleet arrived in 3,000 years, it would be ready and habitable for them. And then instead there was this mutiny on board.
Yeah.
It crash landed, and it was just never discovered.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is that whatever primary onboard computer was there, whatever programming it had, it's carrying out that programming now using Irisa and these other newly risen artificial life forms as its weapons.
I mean, that would work with Urzu valuing all life and therefore not letting anything die.
Instead, turning everything into artificial life forms that can repair themselves and that will never die. But the problem there being that all humanity, all real life would be over with. So now we've had 9 months where she wasn't around. 9 months where she said she killed a lot of people, which means there's a lot of these things out there. Because they've been spreading the stuff. They've been spreading the message all this time.
Yeah, it looks like every time she infects, so we got like an intelligent zombie issue going on.
Right, like an intelligent virus. And kind of this secret invasion army.
Yeah, this is bad news bears.
Bad news bears for everyone.
For everyone.
You know, the EREP, the Votans Collective, everyone around the planet is in danger because as people continue to move, this virus will spread. Now, thankfully, because there's no air travel, it's not going to spread extremely fast.
But it'll still spread.
It'll still spread. Throughout communities and across the nation and down into South America, probably with the Votans Collective. Scary, scary, scary. So, you know, Irisa, she's still not telling Nolan anything about it. There's not really anything to be done yet. We also get that moment between her and Berlin, where Berlin is basically tries to offer an olive branch about Tommy, and Irisa is just like, what am I supposed to say to that?
And then screw your computers.
Yeah, screw your computer made of tower fans.
Whatever. I don't think those were humidifiers in the background.
No, I think they were tower fans.
That's what it looked like.
In any case, we got a lot to chew on and a lot of material for the rest of the season, potentially the rest of the series. I feel like the struggle of this season is starting to take shape. Knowing that these things are out there and that the Kaziri and Urzu, if it is Urzu, and Irisa are now trying to replace all life with these computer things. We've got a serious problem on our hands. I don't know how they're going to fix it.
I mean, if they can't die, it's going to be real difficult to stop whatever that is. Very, very difficult. Well, and next episode, I started getting into predictions.
Let's just do it. Let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Get into it.
So next episode, there are some raiders that come to town. I'm going to predict that at least one of those raiders has been infected.
I love this idea. I hope now. I have such high hopes for that being the case. I'm going to be disappointed if it isn't. But yeah, these raiders come to town. They kidnap Pottinger. They kidnap Berlin. They got a problem with EREP. Big problem. We can't tell if they're human or not.
No, they're wearing big masks.
Big Road Warrior masks. So we're not sure what they're up to. Obviously, Datak is going to look to reclaim his seat at the throne.
Make a power move.
And he's not letting Alak move at all. Alak gives him back his blue glowing knife.
Yeah, we saw that. He whips it out.
He whips it out right there on camera, right there in front of his son.
Right there in front of his son. He whips it out.
Creepy.
I'm sure you bathed with him, but come on.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Come on.
Any other predictions?
I want to see more with this like weird living virus. Like I want to see. Like, I want there to be times where, like, we get surprised, where someone we don't expect
is already one
has
of them.
already been infected.
I love that.
Like that'll just make it, like, fun and exciting, where, like, then you find out, like, Amanda's been one of them the entire time, or, like, something like that. Like,
but I love this. I love this, because it's one of these big, terrifying concepts of who can you trust. It's a big problem, far bigger than any of the ones that we encountered in the first season.
Yeah.
And it's a great, great sci-fi concept.
And it forces alliances that you wouldn't expect, so that'll be fun, like, to see, like, different people with each other. Yeah.
And I like that we're facing a global problem, potentially. Yeah. All right. I think that's going to be all of it for us this week. You know, folks, I apologize that we weren't on longer, but when it's just two people, there's only so much you can say.
Yeah.
We will obviously we'll try to have a much longer podcast for you next week to make up for the difference. I really, really appreciate your patience. This season of Defiance is going to be the best.
It's going to be sweet.
Yeah. Jesse, where can the people find you?
The people can find me on Twitter at JessKlein1, and then if you're a big fan of live comedy, this Saturday the 5th, you can see me and Matt Lieberman at the Kirk Douglas Theater. We're going to be performing with our team DJ Fawcett, sketch comedy.
Yeah, it's a one night only show.
Yeah.
It's at 8 p.m. in Culver City at the Kirk Douglas Theater. You can find tickets online at Brown Paper Tickets. Just search for DJ Fawcett. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. You can find all my videos for SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd on YouTube. And you can find me here on AfterBuzz TV on The Marin Show and
right.
Halt and Catch Fire Show here with Jesse. I want to thank you so much. See you all next week. Goodbye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.